Hello, today I'm going to do a quick overview of how I've been using USD and tops to generate per variant combination renders. Using USD, I've mainly been using this for scene layout variations when I need like interior design to show different options. So the end result is that I'm going to run my USD file through PDG and it's going to generate a render for every single possible variant combination. So first I'm going to go over how I set up the USD file. So first I've got this variant set called model, and this contains character variants right here. And I've got a second variant set called hat. And this is I'm going to transform these later. So you can see right now they're untransformed, and I'm saving this out into a new layer called character, and then I'm saving this out into its own layer called character, and then I'm starting a new layer right here. And in this new layer, what I'm doing is this is where I'm transforming the props or the hats in this case, and this is not creating a new variant. This is going over the model variant, which is the variant set that's storing the character meshes. So in here, I'm selecting the model variant that I'm going to be overriding. So here I'm overriding the flippy variant with the transforms for the hat variants. And here I'm just selecting the different hat variants, and I'm just writing that out here. And this is going to override, so you can see this means it's an over specifier for the prim. And what that looks like on disk is just this lightweight, it's just the transforms and the selected variants. And these just get written out because we don't have any way to select the variants as far as I know in Houdini and make it write out the values. So if I don't have these set variants, Houdini is not going to write out these values because it doesn't see the prim. Alright, so after that, I'm just saving this out and I'm bringing this in, and I'm creating this out stage null, and then in the set variant, this is where I'm using PDG, so I'll dive into that now. So here I've got the USD import, and I'm importing the outstage null that I just showed, but I could just use the USD file that I wrote out, it doesn't matter. And in here, I'm bringing in the character prim, so this is the prim that has my variants. If you had variants on different prims, you just have to bring those in as well. I'm not importing attributes or relationships because I don't need the extra data. I'm importing the variants, so this is going to import right here. So here's my variant set name, hat, and then these are the variants, model, and then these are the variants. And then I'm also bringing in all the variant names in an attribute called variant sets. So this is going to store all the variant sets in a single attribute. So that's why I'm calling it variant sets, and that's right here. Okay, and that's all I'm doing on this node. And then after that, I'm running it through a Python processor. So in the Python processor, this function you're seeing here is just going to generate all the possible combinations recursively. Here I'm just grabbing the upstream item. Since I only have one USD file, I'm just grabbing the first item in the list. And then here this is generating the list that I'm going to feed, or the array that I'm feeding the generate combinations function. So here I'm saying for variant set and variant set. So this is model on the first iteration, so I'm going to say for variant in the model array. So this is going to grab this attribute right here, and then I'm going to append Flippy, Paul, and Tommy into this array, and I'm going to append that array to this array right here. So by the end, this variant set array should contain one array that has Flippy, Paul, and Tommy in it, and then another array that has Beanie, Samurai, and Santa in it, and then that's what I'm feeding to the generate combinations function, and then that's going to store all the possible combinations in this variable right here, and then I'm just going through that for combination and combinations, and then for each possible variant combination, I'm just creating a new work item and adding the appropriate attributes that I want. So here is what the output of that looks like. So here you can see one of the attributes I'm generating is output name, and then here this is Flippy and this is Beanie. So these are the variables that I'm using to select right here. So here's hat selection, model selection, P just specifies PDG, and then in here I'm naming the render the output name that I specified in here. And the USD render scene, I'm just specifying the out render, which is this null right here, and then I've got it on single frame, and the only other thing I'm doing is I'm creating a temp USD file for every single work item. So every single work item, these values are going to change. And they're going to be stored in their own USD file in the temp directory. And if that means these are also being stored, so I would probably just put these up here so they're also not getting written out because they're not changing for every work item unless you had per shots changes or whatever. Then you would just leave these down here because this is all the data that's getting written out per work item. And the last thing I'm doing is I'm setting my scheduler to be single, and that's just going to prevent me from having 9 instances or however many instances of Husk running all at once, which is especially a problem when you're using Karma XPU. So this is just going to make sure each work item runs one at a time. All right, so that's all.